So this is my review of Suits season 1 episode 4. Harvey is back and he was back in the right way, in the right role, in the right capacity because they established a friendship between him and Ted, and it was not like it would not make sense for him to come back in the current timeline because you know he's doing pro bono work now and in some other city, and it just wouldn't have made sense. So he's back. I would talk about his role and what he signified here, anyways. Like, both of them are friends. They were playing, baseball, where Harvey said that he will, you know, to take his mind off Pellegrini and just focus on the game. They did some jokes related to, the guy on the field, Jeremy or someone. And then they went to the bar where, they established what both of these guys mean in the Suits universe, which is essentially is that both of them think that they are the top guys in the world, that the top lawyers in the world both have the same kind of ego. Like, one man thinks he's Batman, but then the other goes, no, no, I'm Superman, but then he goes, no, I'm Robin, no, no, I'm Batman, I'm Robin, and cute back and forth. Like, in a way, you can say he passed the torch to him. Not really passed the torch to him. It was more like him establishing Harvey, giving him the approval that you are also a big guy in this universe now. Like, you are a big guy in this universe along with me. And they established it with their conversations, with their, funny quips between each other. And, it was nice. And I think this is probably going to be Harvey's one and done role, because it wouldn't make sense for him to come back unless Ted goes to jail or something and Harvey has to come and save him. Apart from that, I don't see anything happening. Also, information that Harvey revealed was that there is someone in his office that uh, there is someone in his office that is working for Pellegrini. But he's safe because if Ted dies, Pellegrini, an army will be sent after him. The thing is, I think this episode was, if I was fine. It's just that there were some things that were really like off-putting and didn't make sense. Is that, first of all, like, I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to establish funny things happening. It's just that sometimes it feels so forced, especially when, like, Josh McDermott's character Stuart Lane, like, just tries to be funny out of nowhere. Like, there has nothing been established that he's like this funny or this like Dungeons and Dragons with Rick and everything. Like, he's making jokes, he's going extra, the way he's screaming. It's just, it felt like it came out of nowhere. It didn't make sense for him to do that. Like, they're trying to establish parallels about how Stuart is being with Ricky, about how Ted is being with Erica. The thing is, I like Ted and Erica's back and forth. Like, when they work a case together, I like sometimes their funny dynamics. Like, I was kind of laughing in the end where she said Terica. Not at first. It felt cringe, but at the end I was kind of laughing. It's just that I don't get that emotional feel from their bond. Same, it feels like they're forcing a bond between Rick and Stuart Lane's character. It's just that I don't feel that in this episode. The thing is, I do like Samantha. There is a strong woman aura with her. She's sexy too. She's kind of like, she's his ex, so her relationship with Ted, you know we also went into somewhat of that, about how I actually felt very sad for him wherever they showed his past times. First of all, he looks more old in the old timeline than he does in the current timeline. Like, when she is with Eddie, like watching Friends on the TV, and he's just looking at them and he's so happy, and like how their dynamic is so like so happy they are, and it feels so like different that now in the current timeline both are working against each other. Both, you know kind of, I don't know, say hate, but there's a cold between, there's a coldness between each other. There is, like, in the end you can see when the end of the episode comes, like there's no love between them anymore. Like, I like their exchange in the end, hypothetically and everything, about how, like, at the first half of episode was clearly like Samantha being the colder, the stronger one, always putting ultimatums to whatever Ted was doing. It was related to, uh, uh, Lester being put off, his name being put off a film that the production team, Bill, his name, the studio head Bill was producing. Uh, Ted trying to, get one up on her, but at the end he didn't. But at first he couldn't, and in the end he did. But it was also hypotheticals. It's just that she could catch him because they had a long relationship, and also that uh, in the end, like, he got the upper hand. It also showed about how much Erica and Ted, like, how Erica is kind of like learning a lot. Like, in the end, she, like, last episode she learned from Rick's advice. This episode she learned from his advice, working for, towards what the client needs to hear. Like, she convinced Lester in the end, like, even if the bluff doesn't work, because the bluff was that if they cut off his name and if they shelf the movie, even if they don't cut it off, A-listers may not work, but it was a bluff. But it did work. I also liked, that they had the guy who played Christian Bell's father in some movies. They had his as a side character, and he was very good in the role. Just the way he could act so annoying, and in a second he'd be like, yeah, 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 I agree. Like, I think that was a really good dynamic. He was a really good actor. I liked their segment. It was just that they're trying to be modern, but they do it like so far. Like the TikToker, like, who he sculpted, a penis in his in his backyard. Like, his act was the real Gen Z something. And I was like, come on, man. Like, I know you want to integrate the modern generation, but do it in a way where it's a little bit subtle. Like, who is writing this? A 80-year-old guy? The thing is just, I liked the acting and all. It's just that this side plot which was there, it was so like last minute. Like, okay, he goes on. He did this because his kids listen to him, but not to him, to that TikTok about guy, but not to him. So this is why he did it. Of course, even in the original Suits, it kind of happened this ways too, but not every episode. Like, like many most episodes were related to company cases and how about how their personal dynamics work. But come on, man, everything doesn't have to be emotional, and even if it has to be, it doesn't have to be kind of the same lesson every fucking time. Like, this was so bad. Like if you like hear his reason in the end, and you'll be like, man, you came up with that last minute, didn't you? Like, you just wanted to, fill up time, so you did that. So they did that. So I'm like, okay, like, why? Just why? Like, you could have done something else. Like, it was still funny. I liked it. I liked some jokes that they did. Like, I liked, Officer McCracken and stuff like that. It's just that it felt so over the top. Like, I like how Stuart Lane's character is like, he wants to, have a good relationship with Rick because he couldn't have it with Ted because they brought out the worst in each other. About how when uh, he went too far playing the bad cop, you know, Rick stopped him. Rick not only stopped him in character but in real also, because he's the head of the entertainment division, and told him, he set him right. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to set up parallel relationships with kind of the same dynamics, like, because both Erica and Ted played good cop, bad cop too, about how Ted is also interfering in her cases, but Erica is much more level headed. She's like, you give me credit, it's just that you do interrupt my meetings and all. It's just that Erica is someone, like, I find her funny. It's just that I don't really connect to her in an emotional way. Like I connect to Ted in an emotional way. I have started to. I connect with Stuart Lane, and not only, mostly not because of his character, but because of his acting. I even connect to, Samantha, because of the way her character is, the way she has acted, and she's so hot. You also have Amanda there. Now Ted has given her an office in the end of the episode because he doesn't want to be lonely, and he's going to work with her in the case. So finally things are going to get into like overdrive from the beginning episode, because we're going to come to the halfway mark in the next episode. So we're probably going to get a lot, like, he got one up on the new lawyer from the prosecution side, because Amanda came at last and she proved that the old lawyer has done the same thing, because they wanted to move Lester's trial up, so that there is no, like, uh, incriminating evidence that comes out of their case against the movie studio. But she wanted to put it off because they didn't have enough time to prepare for the trial. But in the end, Amanda works in favor of Ted at last minute. He says that we are going to see probably a lot more stuff coming out, because Ted also mentioned to Samantha, you left me because Cameron died, but she said no, I left because you only think about yourself. And it is like, it's the same trope, man. This has happened before too, even the in the original Suits. It was Scotty who was always like this with Harvey. And I'm just like, at least write something new, man. Why does it always have to be, man is so selfish, this is why this is happening, he's so stubborn, he's so like obsessed behind one goal, he can let go of any relations. Like, can't you write something new? Why does it have to be the same bullshit again? Because I can assure you there's going to be a love triangle also in the future with Amanda and what's her name, in the Cameron, what, the Cameron is the one who died, Samantha. It's going to be that. And Samantha was doing the case for the studio because they entrusted her with that. But I'm just like, why write the same shit again? Overall, like, it was a fine episode. It was a fun episode, I would say. I didn't dislike it. It's just that there were some glaring things that I didn't like, and I told you about that. Let's see what happens in the next episodes. I get why its viewership like got cut by half. Like NBC's premiere got like 2.8 million views, and the next episode got 1.4 million views. So it shows about how this season is going. Like, they have to end this season with something spectacular, because they don't have a Mike Ross as kind of like the main character, but also not the main character, but kind of like the backbone. The thing that binds the show was Mike Ross and his character and his storyline for the original Suits. We don't have that here. We don't have that kind of character here, or that kind of like the story that is going in the front but also in the background constantly, which is the Mike Ross character, his storyline, about how he can be revealed anytime, about how he's facing all of these things because he has to hide stuff, because his relationships, about his struggles. The thing is, we don't have that kind of character here, so it's very difficult, because Ted is the character here, but Ted is kind of like the Harvey of the show, and Harvey of the show can never be the Mike at the same time, which it looks like they have abandoned that. They're just going with the Harvey thing, but soon, quick, they'll need to find stuff. It looks like probably that person would be Erica. Like, I think in the upcoming episodes, maybe next season, if next season happens, probably Erica will be like the person that they want to be like the second most important character of the show. Like, her evolution from being like this head to like a mature something something at the end. But let's see what happens. So that was my review for Suits Season 1 Episode 4. So, what did you think about this episode? Tell me in the comment section below. So, if you like this type of content, like this video, share and subscribe. If you don't, then share it with those who do. My social media accounts, their links are in the description, which are my X/Twitter account and my Instagram account. My UPI ID, which is shaboy@okicici, is in the description also, so go follow me on that. And my UPI ID, which is shaboy@okicici, which is in the description, so go donate any amount of money which you can, which can help me make YouTube a permanent career option. So that was it for me for right now. So thank you. Goodbye. Alvida.